going to the championship. I don't know what
They're not, but they're going to the final.
I had Iowa State in the championship game.
Yeah, at Virginia, it's all good.
Didn't they lose in the first round?
I'm still feeling good. I'm sitting at 42 points.
I'm sitting at
Hey, we
45
just
and
started
tied
the video.
fourth.
All right, guys, we are going to take our factoring knowledge
North Carolina.
and
If they win,
hey, we're going to take our factoring knowledge here for a couple days, and we're going to apply it to word problems.
This is hard.
Okay? Not too bad. Not too bad.
It's like the other one.
Kind of like the other word problems we did, except we're only going to have one variable instead of two.
Yay!
And guess what that one variable is probably going to be?
X.
X. You can use that or whatever you want. I don't care.
42.
All right.
Is this homework?
No, it's just for fun.
Isn't it notes?
Is it the notes or?
This is notes. 14 problems for homework. So let's get through this so you guys get started. Try to get five problems done before we get out of here after we get through these notes. All right. Some problems can be translated into quadratic equations. What the bejesus does it mean to be a quadratic equation?
A double.
No. What do we have in it? What's every quadratic equation have?
X squared.
Thank you, Cuba. You get an A for the day.
I didn't know that.
Okay? Listen. You guys now you know how to solve for x squared.
All right.
That's what a quadratic equation is. That's what we're going to be writing today. Problem solving process is the same that we use for other word problems. The only new part is that we're going to have to factor and use that zero product property to solve our problems today. All right, you're going to define your variable. I don't know why she made it plural with these notes because it should be just variable, not variables. You're going to set up an equation and factor it to solve it. Make sure your answer makes sense. And what that means is you got your job today, guys, is to look for. Can anybody say that big word starts with an X?
Extraneous.
Very good.
Oh my god.
Everybody say extraneous.
Extraneous.
Say it.
Is it extraneous or
What-
extraneous?
Extraneous is what I said. You're going to look for extraneous solutions. Would somebody like to take a guess of what extraneous solutions are?
An X squared.
Salami
But
and
ju-
cheese.
Extended.
Oh, good guess.
No,
I
I was
like
gonna
that.
guess.
Knowledge of
I
words.
still have a guess.
Olson, that's
I
pretty
still
good.
have a guess. Alright, so like instead of solving for X, you solve for X squared. Hey,
Ah, Mr.
Cheater.
Cheater boy is all over. Okay.
Extraneous solutions.
cheater.
Here's what they are. They are answers. Write this down. Answers that do not make sense. Some problems, not all of them. Some problems have extraneous solutions, and when we get one, you're going to say, "Oh yeah, there's no way that X could be that number. It just doesn't make any sense." Those are called extraneous solutions. We'll be dealing a lot with those for a while here. All right, can't get that dotted line off. Hold on. All right, here we go. The length of a rectangular piece of cloth is 3 inches more than its width. The area of the cloth is 130 inches squared. Let's find the width. Okay. So everybody set up X equals
Length.
no,
Width.
Width.
Area.
no, the width. Because it says find the width. So that's almost set my variance. And then I'm gonna draw a little rectangle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Sketch yourself a little rectangle. Okay? And put the short side as X.
And then,
Don't blurt it out.
oh,
What's the length of the longer side?
Y.
We're not gonna use two
X
variables.
squared.
X plus 2.
McNulty.
oh, it's X plus 3.
X plus 3. Because it says the length is 3 inches more than the width. We've defined the width as X, so that means the length has to be X plus 3. Okay? Miss Natalie, how do we find the area of a rectangle? X times X plus 3 equals the area, but they gave us the area in the problem.
X squared.
What number is it?
130.
130. Okay?
What is?
Now, you have to simplify that. You have to distribute your X, subtract 130 from both sides, set it equal to 0, and then you're going to solve your quadratic by factoring. Okay? Nico, distribute an X for me.
X squared plus 3x.
Okay? And
Bingo.
since you guys are pretty smart, let's subtract $1.30 right now. minus 130 equals 0. You have to get it equaling to 0. Because we're going to use it, what's that property called? You guys remember?
Zero product property.
Everybody say it. Zero product property. That's what you want to use. Okay, let's factor this thing. Let me write it up here just because
So big.
not too bad. Let's see. I'll do the hard part. I know x squared probably factors into x times x.
That's not hard.
Can anybody come up with factors of negative 130 that make 3?
13 and 10.
13 and 10. Which one's negative? Which one's positive?
Positive
10's negative.
10. Or positive 13 negative.
Exactly. The 13 has to be positive. The 10 has to be negative because that makes a positive 3x. That's what we want in the middle. Okay? So it's going to be x plus 13 times x minus 10 equals 0.
Can we solve the quadratic?
Now we're solving it. Okay, we're going to use that zero product property. Either, I think you guys are to that point, either x equals negative 13 or x equals 10. I will give you a big hint. One of those answers is extraneous. One of those answers cannot happen.
Are we finding the extraneous? Or are we finding the regular?
It's gotta
We're
be
trying to find the regular, but we got to get rid of extraneous solutions. Olson, which one? Hey, Mr. Durkop.
Hey, how's everybody?
We're finding extraneous solutions today.
I love extraneous solutions because they're not like the other ones.
What extraneous solutions are?
Those are solutions that would be more or less extraneous.
What's an extraneous solution? What solution
Doesn't make sense.
There would be like a solution to something like if it was a distance, it was a negative number. It doesn't really count because you can't have a negative distance.
You just ruined it.
Well, you just asked me what it was.
So which one's extraneous, guys?
10!
13.
Why is negative 13 an extraneous
I
solution?
don't know what you guys want from me.
It's
You
negative.
come in here, I just wanted to get my papers. You ask me a question, I answer the question, and I get yelled at. I mean, where's the love?
Kind of like being at home, huh?
It is. Oh, I get it. I come here.
Looks
Does
like
it
it
not
looks
look
All right.
Why is it 130 inches squared?
Because I was in the problem.
I don't know why.
I know why is it inches squared. Do you
It is
know
inches
that?
squared.
Everybody use that or no?
That's just the units. The 130 is the important one out. Yeah. So back to before we got interrupted by Mr. Durkop. Which one do we cross off?
Negative 13 is.
Why?
No idea. You said
Well,
it.
because when you multiply that gets
No,
negative.
no, no, no. Guys, look. What does X stand for?
It's gotta be
The
positive.
width. Is there any way that this width could be negative 13 inches long?
That's ridiculous.
That's an answer that doesn't make sense. It's called an extreme. Get rid of it.
So it's
Okay.
X equals
So it's
Now, so we think X is 10. Watch what happens here. What's if X is 10?
13.
What's X plus 3?
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
What's the area of a 10 by 13 piece of cloth?
It's not 130.
Is the length 3 more than the width?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, everything works out. So find the width. You would say X equals 10 inches.
We put width equals 10.
Sure, yeah, width equals 10 inches. So, does everybody understand about the negative 13 not being a logical answer? It's called a what?
Extraneous solution.
Extraneous solution. Okay?
Oh, is there gonna be other reasons why it's extraneous?
Yeah, sometimes.
Crazy.
Yes, sir.
Is the extraneous solution always negative?
No.
Or can it be positive?
It could be positive.
It can never
I
be
can't give an
negative.
example right now, but I guess it could be.
Can it ever be negative?
That one is negative.
I mean like the regular answer.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think this next one, that we get one of them's negative, and it works.
Boiler.
All right. If 4 times the square of a number is 45 more than 8 times the number, what's the number?
X equals the number.
X equals the number. There's no picture to draw here. Okay? So just define your variable as x equals the number. So where's the I've ever tried to draw? All right, x equals the number. Now, you guys did a great job previous with this. Everybody just read a few words at a time and try to write that left side of the equation. Okay, you always know is the equal sign, so right here is the equal sign, is. But who can get the left side of that equation done? Anybody besides McNulty? All right, Kev, you the man.
4x squared.
4x squared. 4 times the square of a number. Look at, there's our quadratic. We got x squared. And then there's your equal sign, guys. Everybody read the right side and try to write the right side of the equation. Read a few words at a time. Do it. Come on, you guys are all smart. Nico, what is it?
8x plus 45.
Yeah, 45 more than 8 times the number.
You?
8x plus 45. Again, we want to put it into standard form so that we can factor it. I'm going to move those things over. 4x squared minus 8x minus 45 equals 0. And then everybody take 10 seconds, guess and check. Try to factor that thing. It's not too bad.
Boy, am I getting good at this.
Who's got the magic factors?
I don't know, it's hard.
Want to try something?
2 and 9 and 2 and negative 9, 2 and 5.
It is 9 and 5, and the 9 is negative, the 5 is positive. Very good. Keep on.
So
Here's how I did it, guys. I saw 18 and 10. If I subtract them, they make 8. 18 and 10 subtract makes 8. And then I looked at the signs, and I knew that 18 had to be negative because the 8 has to be negative. So I'm going to go 2x minus 9 times 2x plus 5. If I do FOIL on that to check it, you will get the 4x squared minus 8x minus 45. Okay? So that means x equals 9 halves, or x equals negative 5 halves. And these number problems, there's no extraneous. It can't. Both of them work. Okay? You don't have to check them. On number problems, the answers you get should work. If you want to check them, it means you'd have to plug it back in for x and do a whole bunch of math. Yeah, it's a lot of math there. So.
not doing that.
All right. How many of you guys remember consecutive integer problems?
I do.
Easy.
I love those.
Yeah,
They're not bad. All right, we're going to try to find 3 consecutive even integers such that the square of the first plus the square of the third is 136. Find the integers. Okay? So, what do we set? What variable do we use and what do we set it up to?
X.
X is what?
The number.
More specifically.
Oh,
I'm going to go first. I'm going to be real specific. First even integer is x, the very first one, and it's defined as even. Last period, a kid raised their hand. Like, how do we know it's even?
Oh my
Like,
god.
if you define it as an even integer, it is. What's the next even integer after x? You add 2 to it. Think of any even number.
Meredith's on fire.
The next one would be 2 more than that. So x plus 2 equals the second even. And then what would be the third even integer?
X plus 4.
Yeah, x plus 4. Catch on to the pattern.
X plus 2 plus 2.
Or x plus 2 plus 2. Very good. I like that. I'm going to write it as x plus 4.
Me too.
Okay, now you define, whenever you have consecutive integer problems, define your variables like this. You guys did a great job when we did those before. Now, try to write that equation.
Oh.
The square of the first plus the square of the third equals 136. The square of the first.
Get the square 3, 2.
What 3?
With x plus 4. Get the square 4 as well.
You use, I'll give you a big hint. You use parentheses, Cubine.
Ooh.
Gotta use parentheses.
Man.
Go ahead, Nico. Let's hear it.
Is it x squared plus x plus 4 in parentheses squared
The quantity of x plus 4, quantity squared. Keep going. You're doing great.
equals 136?
Equals 136. The square of the first, x squared, plus the square of the third, x plus 4, quantity squared, equals 136. Now, who can square x plus 4? What does the knucklehead kid say x plus 4 squared is?
I don't
4x
X
squared.
squared plus 16.
X squared plus 16. It does not work out like that. You have to do FOIL on it, or
Exactly what I was about to say.
I was gonna do that.
or guys, this is another reason right now. It's good for you to know your perfect square
X squared
trinomials.
plus 8x.
Right. It's x squared. It's a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay. So, or guys, go to the side of your paper. Write it. Go to the side of your paper. Write it out twice and just do FOIL.
2x.
Okay. Why do you keep saying 2x?
X squared.
Such a goober. X squared
Goofy goober?
plus x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 136. Believe it or not, guys, that's x plus 4 quantity squared makes x squared plus 8x plus 16. Now, CLT and move your 136 over.
Canadian bacon
McNulty, what's x squared plus x squared?
2x.
Okay.
2x squared, not x to the fourth,
Oh, yeah,
plus
that's what I got.
8x minus 120 equals 0. So we see how I got that minus 120. I'm going to show you guys a little trick now. I don't think I've showed you this trick yet. Oh, why did I write x to the fourth? You guys, nobody caught that. I'm an idiot.
No, you're not.
You went to the fourth.
I put x to the
2x
fourth.
squared. I put x to the fourth, probably because I did it. It was 2x
No, I
squared.
did it just like x to the fourth.
That's what x squared times x squared is. But x squared plus x squared makes 2x. All right, does everybody agree that there's a GCF?
Probably, yeah.
Sure.
Look at it.
It's
Probably
2.
2,
Oh.
okay? If it's a variable, you can't do what I'm about to show you, but as long as it's a number, like just 2, you can do this. Remember, what's the golden rule of math?
2.
Equations. What's the golden rule of equation, guys?
You do everything to both sides.
Whatever you do to one side of an equation, do the same thing. Here's what I'm going to do. Because I know the GCF is 2, I'm going to divide both sides by 2 because that'll make my numbers a lot smaller.
So nothing will
Okay.
happen to the other side.
X squared
Kevin, you're so
plus 4x minus 60 equals, what do you guys think 0 divided by 2 is?
Zero.
0. Still 0. Okay? You can't do that with what I just did there. You can't do that with variables because you don't know what x is, and if it happens to be 0, you can't divide by 0, so it doesn't work out. Anyways, it makes the
Variables are so mean.
hard.
factoring a little bit easier. X and x. All right, don't blurt it out if you know it. Get your factors of negative 60 that make 4.
I got
Don't
it.
say it. Don't say it.
Oh, I got it.
Practice, practice, practice. Use your brains. Who's got them?
You just spoiled it for everybody.
Don't ruin it.
He knew it.
Trubinski, do you got it?
Sean knew it too.
Sarah?
That's so mean. Come on.
Which ones?
I don't believe
10 and negative 6.
Sean, you're an innocent man.
Look at that. That makes positive 4. 10 and negative 6. I thought it was going to be 12 and 5, but it was not 12 and 5.
Uh-uh.
So we got x minus 6 times x minus plus 10 equals 0. Solving both those, x equals 6 or negative 10.
What do we do from
Now, are either one of those extraneous, do you think?
there? Better late than never.
Look.
You missed a lot.
Look at all the people who are.
You missed a ton of stuff.
There's only like 2. Pizza and
Aaron, define extraneous.
Define a straight man.
I divided both sides by 2 instead of factoring it out.
So you don't know it? Oh, you're.
Ooh, Aaron, you better.
You could, but-
Sean, preschool.
Because I know that whatever we do to one side, we can do the same thing to the other side. Let's just divide. Let's just divide both sides by 2. You can do that.
Yeah, Sean got caught cheating. It was so
If
hard.
there's a variable, then x can be 0. That's when x is 0.
This checklist was all over.
Well, it depends if they're asking to solve it
She knows.
You can smell
or they
it.
ask you just to factor. You would, if I just left that out front, now it would be 2 could be 0, but 2 is never 0, so it's kind of it's just it doesn't make sense.
So Sean got caught right
Lose
away.
points for that.
Was it?
He all says X equals 0, just leave them.
If there's an x in the GCF, yes.
You don't leave your calculator in your
That one shouldn't count.
Yeah, it does. All right. Hey, we have to, are either one of those extraneous?
Yeah.
Which one?
Probably.
I
How
have
are we
10.
supposed to know?
Watch.
They're both even.
Let's do 8. Let's do x is 6 first.
Oh,
6. Everybody add 2 to 6.
8,
Add 2 more.
10. Does
Okay.
that equal 136?
But now, now square the first number.
Oh, they said. Oh, they said.
Square the first number.
36.
Square the last number.
100.
Add them together.
Yes.
100.
So, 6, 8, and 10 are one set of, those are 3 consecutive even integers where the first one squared and the last one squared add up to 136. But what happens if you try negative 10? Somebody take negative 10 and add 2 to it.
100. No,
8.
that don't work.
Negative 8.
Negative 8, add 2 to it again.
Negative 6.
Okay, square the first one.
Oh, it does work.
Honda.
They both work.
It both works out because this is 100, this is 36, and if you add them together, they make 136. So there's 2 sets of solutions here. Neither one of them were extraneous.
Do we have to do that for everyone?
You have to check them, yeah. You gotta check them. All right, jump to the back. Save time a little bit here. We can skip 4 because it's just the same thing as 5. Let's do this one where there's a square. Okay. Can everybody picture what the shape of what does a square look like? Right. Everybody knows what a square looks like.
What's a school?
Sean.
Okay. Everybody draw a little square. Why are you guys picking on Sean? Don't pick on Sean. He's a weasel. All right. If each of the sides of a square is lengthened by 4 meters, what does it mean to be lengthened?
Extended.
A large, yeah.
Extended, bigger,
What would you do with the 4?
bigger amount.
Edit.
Add it, exactly. So, x equals length, the original. Okay, so we get a square that's x by x. We are going to lengthen it by 4 meters. So make it another square. And then, this is supposed to be the same. My picture's not very good. I lengthened it by 4. What are the new dimensions of the bigger square? How long is it from left to right? X plus 4 by x plus 4. Because we lengthen means we're going to add to it. So it's x plus 4 by x plus 4. Does everybody agree with that? If we lengthen it by 4, what's the new area of the bigger square?
49m squared.
49. So here's our equation. X plus 4 times x plus 4 equals 49. Again, now this is one, guys, you're going to have to do FOIL. It's like you got to go backwards to go forward.
At least
Does
it's
that make sense?
Yeah, at least it's in foil form this time.
Exactly. But here's what I see kids do. Do not write this down. Kids get here and they're like,
This square.
something with the zero product property. Yeah, you can square. They go like this. X plus 4 equals 49, or x plus 4 equals 49. They're getting confused with the zero product property and saying that if things are multiplied together that make any of them could be 49. No, do not do that. So what you have to do is x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 49, and then subtract 49 from both sides. Get it now? Then we can use the factor it and use the zero product property. Is it minus 33?
33, yeah.
Okay. Now everybody try to come up with factors of 33 that make 8. Doesn't take long.
11, negative
11 and 3 work.
No.
11, negative.
I'm not done yet.
X, 11 and negative 3. So x minus
You're negative.
3 times x plus 11 equals 0. Using the zero product property, we get 3 and negative 11. Which number is an extraneous solution?
11.
There's no 11 in this problem.
Negative 11.
Negative 11. The x cannot be negative 11
Actually, there is 11 in the problem.
in the solutions. You know what I mean? Don't correct me.
Oh.
All right, x could be 3. Now think about it. If the original one is 3, what's 3 plus 4?
7.
Well, if a square is 7 by 7, what's its area?
49.
49. Works out. So, x is 3.
And make the squares into an American flag.
All right, last problem.
Seriously, it'll be fun.
Does look like an American flag. All right, skip 6. It's real similar to the one before it, but whenever we do these factoring quadratic word problems, there's always a pool with a deck around it. Always. I always remember that. So, a rectangular swimming pool is 10 feet by 25 feet. It's surrounded by a deck that is the same width all around the pool. So that means that the deck is uniform. Does that word make sense to you guys?
Uniform solution.
It's the same all the way around it. Okay?
I just did it again. I
Oh,
hit
is that
something and
blink
it
or
did it
different
again.
lights go?
You guys are freaking out.
Hit it.
It was a blink.
All right, so here's what I want everybody to do.
Harder.
Draw a pool, it's 10 by 25. A rectangle. Now, we're gonna put a deck around it,
Yes.
okay? And the width of the deck is x.
Yes, I got
Okay?
it.
So x equals, defining our variable, width of the deck.
Deck.
That's what we don't know. Okay? So does everybody see like a little rectangle inside the big rectangle?
Sure.
The big rectangle is they gave us important information about that second sentence. If the pool and the deck together have an area of 594, how wide is the deck?
Well, you wouldn't need the inner.
There's our question. All right, now, here's my question to you people. How wide is the pool with the deck around the pool? What's the total width of that now?
X.
No way.
X plus 20.
Go ahead, keep on. I mean, also,
10 plus x squared.
no.
Because
X
there's two
squared plus
sides.
10.
There's two x's, but two x's don't make x squared.
Oh yeah, 10
X
plus x plus x.
Okay? But combine it like terms.
10 plus 2.
Can I put it 2x plus 10?
2 yeah.
That's how we usually see it, guys. Guys, think about it. This length is 2x plus 10. He wanted to write 10 plus 2x, but it's the same thing. Using that same philosophy, guys, what's the other dimension of the
2x
pool
plus
with the
25.
x? 2x plus 25.
Should we put that in foil form?
Well, how do you find the area of a rectangle?
Like times 1.
And you know it's 594.
Oh yeah, we put it in foil.
So you're going to go 2x plus 25 times 2x plus 10. That's how you find the area of a rectangle. And you know that from the problem that the area is 594. There's always a pool and deck problem. Everybody do FOIL on that real quick. I think we're going to be able to. 4x squared plus 20x plus 50x plus 250 equals 594. Probably going to need our calculator on this one, guys. 4x squared plus 70x. Somebody subtract 594 from 250. How much is it?
I guess it's 344.
Dude, Briggs, you were pretty good, dude.
What is it?
344 equals 0. Is there a common factor that we could divide both sides by to make our numbers smaller?
Probably.
Let's
Sure,
see,
two.
does 4
Two.
go into 344?
Well, I would say does 4 go to 70 first?
Oh,
It doesn't. So 4 is not. But
so we're gonna have to go with 2 if we know one.
we're gonna have to go with 2. Divide both sides by 2. I'll do the hard side. The right side is 0. You're funny. But looks aren't everything. Okay. 2x squared plus 35x minus 172. I think I did that right.
Yep.
All right, now we have a hard job. We have to figure out what factors of 172 with our 2x and our x that make 35.
We can
Wait,
do
couldn't
it.
you have done the same thing from the original, like 4x squared plus 70?
So we gotta go back.
Oh yeah, you
to
could have
the-
factored it that
That
way.
just taking longer.
They're just bigger numbers.
Alright.
But yeah, you totally could have factored 4x squared plus 7.
86 and 2.
Okay, try 86 and 2.
Does not work.
Is that right? 160? Yeah, 186 and 2.
No.
We're not going to get 35 out of there. Does 3 go into 172? I always go up by every number.
But why would you?
43
7,
times
8, 9, 10. No, because it adds up to 10. So it means 3 doesn't go into 10, so 3 doesn't go into
4 does.
172.
443.
4 and what?
473.
What's the other number with 4?
That makes 39.
Dang it. Doesn't. Probably like.
Is it 4 and 43? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Doesn't.
All right, wait. Look at that, guys.
Nope.
43 and 8.
No good. Wide left.
No. 43 and 8 make 35. Look. 43, 8.
Oh, 8.
And if you subtract them, you get 35. So we found our magic factors.
Ah,
Equals 0, 2x plus 4. No, I think it's minus 4. 43 would be positive. And then x goes with your plus 43. Solving both those, x could be negative 43 halves, or x could be 4. What did x stand for at the beginning?
I'm gonna go with x equals 4 because it can't be negative.
Why can't it be
Have a
negative?
Negative width of a deck.
Yeah, width of a deck, guys, can never be negative. The answer is only x equals 4.
Or you could just get a tape measure and measure the width of the deck.
Yeah, we don't really have to like something.
I'd rather do I'd rather use algebra to get that.
No.
All right, so
Definitely.
you're gonna have all these types of problems. Are there any questions, guys, on what we did so far? All right, signing off.